Anyone fascinated by the natural world has probably wondered why some animals have such strange-looking sense organs. The elephant with its huge ears. The antennae of a butterfly, which up close look like feathers. The snake with its split tongue. And what about less obvious enhancements, like the sensory cells on a crocodile's skin? Surely these evolutionary traits aren't just for decoration. In fact, the size, shape, and location of these animal sense organs is all for a purpose. And just like us, animals rely on their senses to communicate with each other, find their way around, stay safe, and most importantly, to find food. When you see how superior some animal senses are compared to those of humans, you might wonder how we ever manage to stay on top of the food chain. Animal super senses. You won't believe what's possible. What we see above the ground is only a small part of the natural world. A busy, complex web of life lies just beneath our feet. Fossorial animals are well adapted to life underground. They live in burrows, tunnels, and mounds, using the earth or whatever substrate they live in to build their homes, find their food and friends, and stay safe from enemies. In this episode of Animal Super Senses, we find out more about the animals that have their feet firmly planted on or under the ground, and find out how their senses are tuned to survive. For animals that live underground, adaptations for digging deep come with the territory. That includes strong limbs, claws to dig with, and a keen sense of touch. The wombat is the largest burrowing mammal, found in the temperate forest of southeastern Australia. They have stocky, powerful limbs, short necks, and broad, flattened skulls, perfect for pushing through the soil. Their forepaws are used for excavation. They can remove just about any obstacle with their incisors. To expand the sides and roof of a tunnel, wombats twist the upper body and perform barrel rolls. Their front end is backed up by an impenetrable posterior. Wombats have what is called a dermal shield on their rear, a plate of bone, muscle, and cartilage that can help defend their home from intruders. They can seal the entrance with their tough bums, or squeeze under the invader and slam them against the tunnel roof. To avoid the heat of the day, this marsupial stays cool in its burrow. The wombat comes out at night to feed on grass and the roots and bulbs of plants. They are able to pick up the most tender shoots because of a split upper lip. And to cope with their fibrous diet, they have open-rooted teeth that are continuously growing, a feature unique among marsupials. A sense of touch is highly advanced in those that have a habit of living like a hobbit, and the wombat is no exception. Their cheeks, jaws, and wrists are covered in vibrissae, whiskers that are specially designed for tactile sensing. Many animals that live the subterranean life have a need to be in close contact with their surroundings. It's a sense known as positive thigmotaxis. And although wombats' senses haven't been studied too closely, it's likely they have this need to be in touch with tight places too. In the deserts of Central Australia, there are other creatures, many times smaller than the wombat, who also make their home underground. To shelter from the searing heat, rodents escape by burrowing deep into the cracks formed in the gibber, or stone-covered plains. Feeding mostly on seeds during the nighttime, they are perfectly adapted to the arid climate. They get all their fluids from their food. Gibber rodents live in small colonies, keeping in contact with burrow mates using a variety of calls, including squeals, whistles, chirps, and chatters. It's thought that their hearing is best at ultrasonic frequencies, perhaps an adaptation to avoid predators who may be listening above the ground. This rodent is not alone. Its subterranean shelter could be its undoing. Another creature is searching for sanctuary from the sun's heat and looking for a tasty meal. The inland taipan dwells in the cracks and crevices of the dry, rocky plains. And lucky for them, their favorite food lives in the same place. Cornering the rodent in its burrow, the taipan strikes with deadly poise. Injecting a lethal cocktail of paralyzing poisons. Its highly toxic venom is considered to be the most potent of any land snake in the world. The venom acts so quickly, the victim has little time to fight back. Food is scarce in the desert, and the snake must make use of every sense to find its prey. Smell tasting is the most important tool for sensing food. The forked tongue flicks rapidly, tasting the air for prey odors. This chemical information is then passed to the Jacobson's organ in the roof of the mouth, and then back to the brain for processing. Taipans can also detect their prey by sensing movement. They can hear by picking up vibrations along the ground. These travel through to the inner ear by means of a chain of bones in the lower jaw. Using its sensors in this underground lair, the snake is a supremely adapted killer. Searching for prey certainly tests the sensory limits of animals. But when your food is minuscule and hidden, it really does need super senses to find them. The short-beaked echidna has a specialized diet. It only eats ants and termites found deep under mounds and logs. To get to the insect nibbles, the echidna uses its powerful, stout limbs to dig into the soil and rip open rotten wood. The front feet have 5 flattened claws, and the hind feet point backwards, helping the animal to push the soil away when burrowing. But it is the echidna's nose that is key to its success. Highly tactile, 8 centimeters long and rigid. This fair-sized proboscis helps this spiny anteater forage and poke around for food. The tongue can dart out to a length of 18 centimeters to catch its prey. And with the help of some very sticky saliva, with the consistency of molasses, ants and termites have little chance of escape. The snout is covered with tough, hairless skin containing glands and sensory receptors. Echidnas can detect prey by smell, but they also have an additional sense, found only in a handful of animals on the planet. With the tip of the snout, they are thought to have the ability to sense electricity. Until recently, the platypus and echidna were the only mammals known to use electroreception. Both are monotremes, egg-laying mammals, an ancient order of animals left over as a relic of evolution. The structures responsible for the electric sense in echidnas are sensory mucus glands. It's not fully understood how they use these, but tests have shown they can detect weak electric fields in water. As water is a good conductor of electricity, echidnas may be able to detect moving prey in moist soil. Even with a tough snout, echidnas generally avoid